Never in a million years did I think that my daughter would be brutally murdered. What did she do? What did she do that warranted you snatching her life and taking her from me?
Joselyn was set to start nursing at Morgan State University in just a few weeks. She and her mother were set to make the last part of their move the week she was killed.
I'm sad that something like that had to happen to somebody.
And then you pray that it just stops. Like, it has to be a value on somebody's life.
A teenager's life gone and value erased in mere seconds.
Even looking at these pictures, like, you could just look at any picture that you would see of them, you could just tell the love. Him and Miss Thomas, they had a great relationship. I looked at her as a daughter.
She wanted to portray, like, this man loved me and I love him. And it was, in reality, it was she loved him and he did not love her. Because anyone that loved Joselyn would not have done that to her.
She can't help but think about her cousin's final moments.
I think about how scared she probably was and how she tried to fight for her life. It's just, and I think about what her last thoughts might have been.
We've all experienced young love at some point in our lives, whether it was a high school sweetheart or a fleeting early romance. Many of us have also faced that pivotal moment of leaving for college, stepping into a new chapter, and having to choose between holding on to what we knew or embracing what lay ahead. But none of us ever imagined that such a moment could end in tragedy. Today's story takes us to a small town in Pennsylvania where the life of an 18-year-old girl was changed forever. "18-year-old Joselyn Thomas was a smart, generous, and funny young woman, the light of her mother's life. To know her was to love her. She recently graduated and was looking forward to attending Morgan State University in just a few days, where she would major in nursing. Joselyn was ready for a fresh start, ready to see new things, ready for this new chapter in her life. She decided to head out for a night of fun, kissing and hugging her mother before disappearing into the night. Little did her mother know, she would never see or speak to her again. Sadly, a tragic chain of events would soon occur that would snatch away all of Joselyn's hopes and dreams forever. On the evening of August 7th, Allegheny County Police responded to the Cambridge Square apartment complex to Unit G after an unidentified individual called to report a murder. Upon arrival, they would locate an unresponsive adult female lying on the floor in a back bedroom.
This morning, you could hear a hammer at the Cambridge Square apartments, but these weren't the bangs neighbors heard the other day.
Just in my house, cleaning. It was like pow.
Kimberly Lucas thought nothing of that sound. Neither did this neighbor who didn't want her face shown.
I was out here sitting here smoking a cigarette, and I heard, I thought it was a firework.
It was just dark. You don't see nobody, so you just don't think nothing of it.
Monroeville police had been looking for Joselyn Williams after she was reported missing, then responded to a caller reporting a murder Wednesday afternoon.
And the next thing I know, there's 5 police cars in the parking lot.
The victim was identified as 18-year-old Joselyn Thomas, who was sadly pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to multiple gunshot wounds. The suspect was quickly identified as 19-year-old Albert Williams III, Joselyn's on and off again boyfriend. According to family members, the couple fought relentlessly over Joselyn leaving for college. You see, Albert wasn't too happy at the thought of Joselyn leaving him. He even offered to find schools within the area that she could attend, but Joselyn wasn't having it. She wanted to leave her small town of Monroeville. She wanted to get away, experience living on her own, experience all that college had to offer, and she wasn't going to allow anything or anyone to stop her. On the evening of August 7th, a witness told police that they heard the couple arguing, Joselyn screaming, "AJ, stop! AJ, stop!" followed by 3 gunshots. Albert then stepped into the bedroom and stood over Joselyn as she laid on the floor, shooting her 3 more times before fleeing the scene. Her family said that she was with Albert the day before the shooting, but never made it home or answered her phone. Knowing the dynamics of the couple's relationship, Joselyn's mother was frantic. With his lawyer present, Albert will ultimately turn himself into police and confess to shooting and killing Joselyn on what should have been a day of celebration, his 19th birthday. He claimed self-defense, alleging that Joselyn picked up a pair of scissors during an argument, prompting him to shoot her. Investigators found no gun, although Albert claimed to have dropped it on the couch before leaving the apartment. That discrepancy led police to charge him with evidence tampering.
Neighbors say people usually keep to themselves in the area and that they are at a loss for words.
She lost her life, all because some nincompoop did that to her.
Affidavits tell us that Thomas was with Williams 2 days ago, but she did not return home or answer her phone. Witnesses say they heard the two arguing in an apartment in that complex, followed by multiple gunshots. Regardless, Willis says she can't help but feel concerned for her safety.
I feel uncomfortable living there. I want to move out. But some people like me can't afford to move out.
Police did not identify the witness who provided details of the shooting or say whether the witness was inside the apartment at the time. Now all Joselyn's family is left with our memories and questions. Her devastated mother left completely heartbroken. How could Albert do something like this? According to her, she had no idea that he was even capable of committing such an act.
A local mother is opening up about the murder of her daughter.
The mother of Joselyn Thomas speaking only to Pittsburgh's Action News 4 after the 18-year-old was shot and killed last week. She calls her daughter, who was on track to begin college, the light of her life.
Yeah, guys, that's right. Jenna Galloway was preparing to send her only child off to Morgan State for college. It was a couple of their just last days here in Pittsburgh as they prepared to make that final move for Joselyn Thomas's next chapter. But that was cut short after spending one final day with her ex-boyfriend.
She gave me my kiss and she hugged me. And I said, "You be careful." And she said, "Everything's gonna be okay, Mommy, I love you."
That was the last time Jenna Galloway saw her daughter. The next day, she went to the police station to report her daughter missing after not hearing from her the night before. All she knew was that her daughter was with her ex-boyfriend and an address she may have been after tracking her location.
Got in my car immediately looking for her, find my phone. And it didn't have an exact location. It just had an approximate 18-mile, 15-mile radius.
But what Jenna found was the news. Her daughter had been killed by that ex-boyfriend, Albert Williams.
Never in a million years did I think that my daughter would be brutally murdered. What did she do? What did she do that warranted you snatching her life and taking her from me?
Joselyn was set to start nursing at Morgan State University in just a few weeks. She and her mother were set to make the last part of their move the week she was killed. Jenna says she knew Williams was not happy about Joselyn's move, but could never have imagined he would react this way, telling me she never even saw signs that he had the potential to harm her daughter.
If I would have thought, even just the inkling, if I would have thought that she was in danger, I wouldn't have let her go. I don't think she felt threatened until the end. I don't think she even knew what was coming.
Now, Jenna wondering what could have prompted someone she knew to take away who she calls the light of her life, someone who she said was smart, generous, and funny, saying to know her was to love her.
This is what he gave back to me for being kind and generous to him and loving him and opened my home and my heart to him. I gave him the most precious thing I had. I let him date my daughter. This is my most valuable possession. She's everything good. She was everything good to me.
Albert's father, Albert Williams Sr., called the murder an unfortunate chain of events that he never saw coming. He looked at Joselyn like a daughter, and according to him, she had helped his son through some tough times in his life, and there was a strong love between the two.
This is definitely an unfortunate chain of events. This is the last thing in the world I would ever expected to happen.
Albert Williams' son, Albert Williams III, is in jail right now, accused of killing 18-year-old Joselyn Thomas.
Even looking at these pictures, you could just look at any picture that you would see of them, you could just tell the love. Him and Miss Thomas, they had a great relationship. I looked at her as a daughter.
Allegheny County Police say they found Joselyn's body yesterday in an apartment in Cambridge Square in Monroeville. Albert's dad says he was with his son before he turned himself in on his 19th birthday.
He said he loved me, and I told him, just to keep his head up, and we're gonna try to get to the bottom of, everything. And my pain definitely goes out to her family.
19-year-old Albert Williams III was arrested and charged with homicide, possession of a gun, and tampering with evidence. He is being held without bail in the Allegheny County Jail, and a preliminary hearing is scheduled for August 23rd. The case remains ongoing.